You're listening to the Creator Life That Is Beautiful podcast. I'm your host, Leticia Ringe, and this is episode number 56. Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to another episode on the Creator Life That Is Beautiful podcast. I am Leticia, your host, and it's such a pleasure and an honor to be here with you all today, sharing this beautiful space that we're co-creating together. So for those who don't know me, I am a life and business coach, and I help people who want to make a difference find and show up for their beautiful purpose. Now, today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you finally all of the details on my latest offering for you all, which is the Menstrual Magic Business Mastermind. Now, whether you are interested in the mastermind or not, you are going to get a ton of value from this episode, and that is my promise for you. So we're going to be talking about business in general, coaching versus a mastermind, what that even is, creating versus consuming, accountability, being in a group setting, all of these things. So this is going to help you whether you actually want to sign up for the mastermind or not, and whether you're actually the perfect person for the mastermind or not. Now, I always want to be really transparent with you about why I'm creating what I'm creating, why I've put this out there, because this helps you when it comes to your own offers understand how to provide value and speak to your community. So for those of you who are new here, I just want to quickly let you know that my core message is that we are born with gifts that we are here to refine, and that is our only purpose or job in life, to get rid of all of the deconditioning, all of the looking outside of ourselves, all of the trying to be someone we're not, put ourselves in a box that we believe society values. This is what I did in my journey before I was a life coach. I was a lawyer and I worked in the corporate world for 10 years, trying to make my difference in a way that wasn't aligned with me and my authentic gifts. I wasn't valuing my most authentic gifts, which were the gifts that I came into this world with, right? The ones that are so innately within me that you completely overlook them, or at least I completely overlooked them. But throughout my journey, these gifts were the ones that kept moving me forward. They were the ones I got noticed for. So this is my message here. We make a difference when we simply align with our purpose. And we do that through looking within and uncovering what it is that we came into this world with that makes us uniquely special. And we all have something that makes us special. It is our unique combination of skills, interests, all of these things that we naturally have right from the beginning through childhood that make us special. And when we show up in a space that is utilizing those, we are so much more creative, innovative, and powerful, that we make a difference just by being in that space. It is way more effortless, and you will feel motivated and inspired to show up in your life and for the message that you want to work towards sharing with the world. So, the Menstrual Magic Business Mastermind is for those of you who are looking to grow your business, and it's specifically for women in business. Now, first of all, let me just tell you what a mastermind even is, because it's something we hear a lot about, but we might not actually know what it is. So I've done a lot of group coaching, right? And they are such wonderful experiences. I absolutely love working in group environments as a coach myself. Now, when you work in a group coaching environment, usually you will have someone, a coach, facilitating that space, which is the same as a mastermind. However, with the group coaching experience, you will be individually coached within the group setting by the coach, right? So there's someone who is leading all of the conversations, and you're basically getting all of your value from the exchange with the coach. Now, that isn't to say that you won't also have exchanges with the other people in the group coaching experience. You definitely will, and that is one of the wonderful powers of group coaching, is this space that you create together and having that environment together and the accountability together. So you will be able to ask your questions, to go through your personal circumstances, and have the coach of that group answer and guide you through their coaching process, right? Now, with a mastermind, this is a more collaborative space. So it's still in a group environment, but each person is being supported by all of the members in the mastermind. This is why it's called a mastermind, right? Because it's a group of minds that come together and it creates one big mastermind. So each person will have time, just like in group coaching, to ask their questions, to workshop solutions and ideas to move them forward, except that all of the members of the mastermind will be holding that person's business and problem as if it is their own, to brainstorm and offer solutions as well. So you not only do you have the support of every single member of the mastermind at a similar stage of their business, but you also have the benefit, at least in my mastermind, of a trained, qualified, and experienced coach who's guiding you through that process. Now, when we contribute to other people's problems and solutions, we unlock in our own minds solutions to our own problems. One of the biggest things that gets in our way in business, and especially as women, is that it's our own mind, our fear of our own success and potential. So we self-sabotage and keep ourselves small and hide ourselves from actually being seen in our business so as not to be successful. And so when we are actually putting our minds then to other people's problems and ideas, we don't have those same blocks, which is why we're so wonderful at holding space for other people quite naturally. So a mastermind is such a wonderful experience for you to support and also see your strength as a supporter. And then also, of course, to get the benefit of having this space, literally collaborating and co-creating with you on your business. So it's as if the whole mastermind has a shared purpose where they're holding your business up as if it is their own, and you are each contributing to the success of that business. And of course, that success is determined by your own commitments and requirements in your business. It's almost like you have your own whole executive team. So actually, a book I've been reading lately, and if you receive my emails, you've already heard about this, is called $1 Trillion Coach. It's by Eric Schmidt, and who is he was the executive chairman of Google for, decades. And he was talking about this wonderful coach that they had on their executive team, Bill Campbell, who taught them how to create a powerful team environment, because having a team environment, a powerful team environment in your business is the key to success. We cannot do it all alone. We've got to get help from other people. So when you're an entrepreneur and you're literally a solopreneur and you're by yourself, it can be really difficult to get this high-level executive team around you. So that's what you get in a mastermind, which is why it's important to make sure that you've got someone who is facilitating the mastermind experience and guiding you through their process, and also that you are in a mastermind with people who are at your level. So The Menstrual Magic Business Mastermind is for women in business. You choose whether you identify as a woman or not, and that is why I spell it in all of my material with an X. And it's for you if you're looking to grow your business. So as a rule of thumb, you would be in the first 12 to 18 months of your business. However, that will depend on the person, which is why there's an application process and we have a call to discuss whether it's the right for you. Now, it's called the Menstrual Magic Business Mastermind, but it does not have anything to do with your menstrual cycle. This is a mastermind that you can sign up for whether you are experiencing a menstrual cycle or not. Now, the menstrual cycle, in the way that I talk about it, is that it's a system for creating anything. It allows you to sustainably create in your life and business in a way that honors all the different stages of the creative cycle. So it allows you to tap into your masculine and feminine superpowers. The masculine doing, the mind, the strategy, and the feminine receptivity, the receiving, the more of the law of attraction, right? Which is so incredibly important when it comes to how we show up in our business. They're equally important. So the Menstrual Magic Business Mastermind, I'll be walking you through my Menstrual Magic Business method, which is simply a seasonal approach to business and allows you to tap into all the different areas in your business, in your life, and personally to make sure that you're tapping into that full creative cycle and creating with ease, alignment, and impact so that you can make your difference and grow your beautiful business. So I want to tell you or share some more about why a mastermind, and in particular when it comes to business and growing your business, is so beneficial for you. So there are 5 points that I want to make here. And the first is that when we're an entrepreneur, there is nothing about running a business or being an entrepreneur that is normal for our mind. This is an environment that is going to result in our mind freaking out all of the time. And that's because our brain, the mind, is there to help us know when we're in danger. So in entrepreneurship, you're constantly doing new things. You're constantly in the unknown. So the mind is constantly flaring that fight and flight response, telling you that you are in danger, which then results in you not showing up in the way that you need to in order to make the difference that you want to make in your business. So mind management is incredibly important as we go along our business journey, which is why working on mindset is one of the primary pillars of anything that you work on with me. We need to have our mindset in check, and we need constant reminders and constantly being pointed out to ourselves at where our mind is falling short of where we want to be. So I ask you just now to think what you want to create in your life or your business. What is the results that you want? What are the results that you want? And if you had those results, what would you need to be thinking and feeling, because our thoughts create our feelings, in order to create those results? And so you'll start to think about the actions that you need to take. And by taking those actions, that means that you need to think and feel in a certain way. So we've always got to be looking at basically our future self and what they would be doing, thinking and feeling, and what actions they would be taking in order to align with where we want to go rather than where we are now, which is usually in the fear mind and selling ourselves short in some way or another, because that's simply what the mind does. It keeps us in our comfort zone, which then doesn't allow us to grow. So a mastermind and having that executive team around you, just like they've found in Google and in Facebook and in, what's the other big one? Apple, a powerful team is the key to success. And actually, I should say the $1 Trillion Coach isn't just written by Eric Schmidt. I've just been listening to a lot of information from Eric Schmidt lately. It's also by Jonathan Rosenberg and Alan Eagle. So the second point about this mastermind, why we need a team around us, why community is so important, and why the Menstrual Magic Business Mastermind in particular, why I've created it for my ladies who want to grow their business, is that environment is stronger than willpower. So not only will you have this space helping you up level into this higher future version of yourself, but you will also have the benefit of people around you who are also growing and expanding and prioritizing the growth of their business in their life and answering to their higher, most expanded self. I cannot underestimate how important this is. And it's the same reason they're found in these huge companies that are just generating, it's Bill Campbell's known as the $1 trillion coach, because with the combined value of these companies like Apple, Facebook, and Google, and Intuit is another one, he has contributed to more than $1 trillion of wealth generation in the world. All of these companies know that for creativity and innovation and business success, getting the most out of your employees, getting the most possible out of their brains, environment and teams are essential. So if you have around you a group of people who are also growing their business, who are creating and innovating rather than simply consuming or standing in inaction, this is going to help you up level in your business too. And I've personally found this so incredibly important to make sure that I always have a team around me of people who lift me up throughout my journey just by them showing up for their purpose and their truth. Now, this brings me to the third point, which is that in order to be doing well in business, we've got to be creating rather than simply consuming. A lot of us will consume these lessons. You'll consume the podcast, you'll consume books, you'll consume trainings, you'll do a lot of things that are just about consuming, and then you won't actually implement anything that you're learning, or you won't implement to a high level. This will never get you to where you want to go, because we've got to take the actions. The action part is just as important as the consuming. So yes, it's important to be inspired. Yes, it's important to learn, but you've got to be spending just as much time, and even more time, in my opinion, also creating. So for me in my business, I spend a lot of time simply creating. I create. People say, oh, I see you doing a lot. I create a lot. That's what I do. So when it comes to, connecting on social media and all of these things, yes, it's important to connect and engage on social media, and I do spend time doing that, but I have limits around that, because what's more important is that I am creating. When we create, we innovate. And to do that, we've got to make sure that we're implementing the tools and trainings that we get. We're actually implementing and practicing, and then seeing how they work in our business and in our experience, so that we can come up with new solutions that will then inspire us to create new things in our life. And then by doing that, that is how we make a difference. That's how we help evolve our brains, but also the world, our communities around us, because we come up with these new solutions, which is amazing for everyone around us. So you've got to, as an entrepreneur, be creating all the time. And so having this team, this mastermind around you, is going to give you tons of inspiration to help you create. And in fact, the emphasis throughout this series is on implementation. This is a mastermind is for someone who is in a season of action. They're ready to take action on their dreams. They're ready to move forward. You will be in the actual mastermind itself, simply implementing rather than consuming. So creating is incredibly important to your business success. If you're not creating offers and things for your community to have, if you're not creating valuable content, if you're not creating situations for your community to connect, then you don't have anything to offer. You don't have anything to sell. You don't have any value for your community. You simply know a lot of stuff. And we've got a lot of people out there who know a lot of stuff, but they don't actually help people because they don't create. Now, when I was a lawyer, this was the same thing. Lawyers who were able to advance to, become a senior associate, a partner, have their own business, who were able to do really amazing things, they weren't the ones who were the most smart. They were the ones who were creating results. So you've got to be in the creating mode. It's very, very important. And that's why we work with the whole creative cycle when you work with me. Now, the other part is that you will be working through my process, my specific process for business growth that I have cultivated throughout my own business journey and through supporting the clients and community that I work with. So we don't just have to, create a valuable offer. We have to know how to then communicate it to our audience. We've got to have a really powerful why behind us. We've got to have that beautiful foundation set up. We want to be working with our energy, with our zones of genius. We want to be making sure that we're up-leveling our mindset, that we're also tapping into our allowing superpowers so that we're not creating all of this resistance against what we are trying to bring into our life and our business. We're working in a balanced way. We're working with the whole cycle. And my Menstrual Magic Business method that I've created goes through a 6-step process that covers all of this. And you will be taken through this journey throughout the Menstrual Magic Business Mastermind, which is really important. Now, if you want to get started in learning how to actually work with your cycle, in particular, whether you're menstruating or not, if you're not menstruating, you can work with the moon cycle, and you can simply work with your inner cycle by asking yourself, what season am I in today? In terms of what season in the creative cycle am I in today? And if you want to start learning how to do that, you can download for free my Menstrual Magic Journal, which is at leticiaringe.com/Menstrual Magic Journal. And then you will be shown in a very simple way how to work with the 4 different phases of your cycle, of the creative cycle and of the menstrual cycle, wherever you are in your life journey. Now, the 5th thing that you get in a mastermind is accountability. I cannot stress how important it is to have people to be accountable to. Now, in particular, if you take Gretchen Rubin's expectancies test to find out how you deal with expectancies, which I'll put a link in the show notes to this episode, you will find out what is your primary way of dealing with expectations. Now, if you are an obliger, which means that you place other people's expectations before your own, it's really important for you to make sure that you always have the team around you holding your vision for you so that they can help you be accountable to that vision, because you will keep putting everybody else's priorities in your life before you, but not your own. And so it's the same if you're an upholder, right? Which means that you have an equal balance of inner and outer expectations in your life, but there will often be times where there is conflict. I'm an upholder. I know that. I want to meet my expectations and I want to meet other people's expectations. But it's the very fine balance, because you will often have them conflicting, right? So what do you do in those situations? Now, if you're a questioner and the way that you deal with expectations is that you question all expectations, including your own, what can happen is you spend a lot of time questioning and investigating something that isn't worth your time. So in that way, it's really important for you to have someone who can guide you on where to focus your time and attention. And if you're a rebel, then you don't deal with expectations at all. Anyone who places an expectation on you, including yourself, you're just going to rebel against it and not try to fulfill that expectation, because you simply don't like any expectations put on you. So you need to know how to deal with that when it comes to accountability. Accountability is really, really, really important, but it's important to have people who are trained in it, who know how to support you. And that's why a coach is so important. Now, for me specifically, whenever I go through a launch, I always make sure that I have an accountability team around me, because I know that my mind is going to get in the way of me showing up for that launch. It's going to do all of these things to try and self-sabotage to keep me small, because it starts to freak out whenever I up-level or release something new. This is totally normal. But what is so smart is to anticipate that this is what's going to happen and make sure that you are creating an environment for accountability for you. Now, some people will try to do this with a friend or a family member. personally, in my experience, I've found that never works. And actually, it's the same thing with creating a mastermind, with not having something that you pay and invest for and therefore show up differently for. You might say, hey, I'll start a mastermind with my friends. What I tend to find is that the mastermind isn't actually valuable. It doesn't allow you to move forward in the way that you would if you paid for one, if you had a person who is trained in what you're doing to guide you. Usually it ends up being just a bit of a catch up and not something that is powerful and actually moving you forward. And I find that with all of these accountability partners and things I've had in the past, they haven't worked for me. Now, that doesn't mean it won't work for you, but just be conscious of that. Okay, so there are some really important points about why this group environment, a mastermind, is really beneficial for you on your business team. Now, let me tell you about the Menstrual Magic Mastermind, because it's starting. The mastermind calls themselves are starting on the 21st of May. We're doing Tuesdays at 7 p.m. British Standard Time, which means it's going to be during the day for those of you who are in America. Now, if you are in Australia and you're interested in doing a mastermind, you can get in touch and I will consider doing another mastermind group if we get enough people that will be at a time that would be in your evening in Australia. Now, we do this fortnightly calls. They're going to be 90 minutes long. So that's the only time commitment you need to invest in, the 90 minutes, and you're implementing on the call. And it will all be online. So we'll be doing this on Zoom, which is where I do all of my calls, all of my other group coaching, mentoring, all of these group programs are all online on Zoom, and they're amazing. It's great. We love them. And you also start off the mastermind with a one-to-one call. So the mastermind calls go for 3 months. So there's 6 of them. But before we even dive into that, you get a one-to-one strategic coaching session with me that takes you through my process and where we need to focus on throughout this mastermind to help you grow your business in particular. So I also get you to do a really detailed discovery questionnaire. You go through some personality profiling exercises, and this is what I always do when you work with me as a coach or you work in any other of my programs, because this allows me to know how to help you show up in your business and create a business that works with your energy rather than against it, which is really important for staying in business in the long term, because what happens is most people quit within their first year rather than continuing to move forward and realizing that it's really important to stick with it for the first few years in business, and then things will become a lot more smoother sailing. The other thing is, additionally, as bonuses, you receive access to my trainings from Create Your Beautiful Biz, which helps you create that strong foundation in your business. And then there are a whole load of other soulful business resources that you'll also get to make sure that you are connected to the soul of your business and moving forward with ease. You also will have private access to my Voxer coaching throughout the whole mastermind, which means if you've got any questions through in between our calls, you can simply send me a message, a voice note on Voxer, and I will answer that for you. And in addition, you've also got time to send in any copy that you want me to review to get my comments on. Copy can be something that we really struggle with. So it's something that I've had to improve massively, and that's a bonus that I'm going to be offering you throughout this. So not only will you have the mastermind support, but you also have coaching support from me, and I'll be giving you other tools, resources, worksheets as needed throughout the experience, and also some other surprises that you won't know about until we go through the mastermind experience, which is something I always love to do. So if this is something that you are thinking, oh my gosh, I really, really, really want to do this. This is going to help me up level in my business. I'm ready to grow. I'm in a season of action. Let's do this, Leticia. Then all you need to do is go to leticiaringe.com/MMB Mastermind, and you can follow the link there to apply. So you just fill in the application, and then I will book in a short call with you so that we can make sure that, we're all on the same page and that this is definitely the right fit for you. I never do a pushy sales call, ever. I do not want someone to sign up to work with me in any way who is not 100% in. If you're not 100% in, then it's not worth my energy or your energy. So please know this is not a pushy sales call. This is simply an opportunity for you to ask any questions you have, to find out more, and for me to find out more about where you're at in your business too, because of course that's important for the mastermind and needing to make sure people are the right fit. So please go to leticiaringe.com/MMB Mastermind if you're thinking this sounds amazing. Now, there will be some typical objections your mind is going to make if you're someone who is very much tuned in with the fear mind. And let me just tell you what some of those will be. So the first is your mind will say that you don't have any time to do this. It's a 90-minute per fortnight commitment. We all have time for 90 minutes. You've just got to prioritize your business, right? This is the short of it. Whenever we have a problem with the way that we show up with our business, with our time, with our money, it's a priorities time. You need to prioritize the right things. When you are first starting out in your business, you want to be reinvesting into your business, and that includes into your brain, right? Into learning, into making sure you've got these experiences that are going to help you move forward in business, because the first year is crucial for your growth. So you can't expect yourself to be making a huge profit. What you want to be doing is reinvesting all of that into the business so that you are growing. This is what personally I have done. So the other objection is that your mind will say it's too expensive. You're just not prioritizing the right things. For me, the reason that I've been able to grow and grow so quickly is that literally I have put every spare dollar back into my business through investing in trainings, courses, coaching as my number one, and other group experiences to help me move forward in my business. It's absolutely essential, and you can't expect to be growing in your business if you're not investing in your business and in your brain, which is like your biggest asset in your business. It's so funny because as women, we can feel so justified in spending lots of money on clothes, on looking great, makeup, all of these things, right? But when it comes to actually investing in something that's going to be life-changing for ourselves, that's going to allow us to up-level in a massive way, we cannot justify how we could possibly spend that money on ourselves. And I believe this is because of a deeper collective belief or fear about our value in the world. And this is why we have this big block to being seen, which goes way back. And anyway, I won't get into all of this now, but we really need to look at what are you spending your money on, and does this reflect your true priorities in your life? Your own growth and development as an individual and the expansion of your mind, I would argue, should be one of the number ones right up there. You know, it's the same as we are okay to spend a lot of money on a gym, but when it comes to exercising our mental management or mental health or mind management, we won't invest in that, which is just, it's crazy, because that is literally what is creating everything in our life. It should be the number one investment we make, in my opinion. And well, that's how it is in my life. And that's why I prioritize my time and my money to reflect that. And that is why I implement and take action rather than simply consuming. And the other way our mind will try to sabotage us is to tell you that you're not ready. I'm not ready for this. It's not the right time. Maybe I'll look into it next month, next quarter, later in the year. This is how we deny our dreams. If you have a dream or desire now to do something, that is the right time to do it. You want to do it while you're inspired. That is your inner being speaking to you. So take note of what those desires are and prioritize them as well. You're always ready. You wouldn't have the desire unless you were ready. Alrighty, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me today for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed learning about what a mastermind is and how creating a powerful team and community for your business will help you in up-leveling. And if you are saying, yes, Leticia, I am so in, let's do this, I'm so ready to go to the next level in my business and I want to work with you, then please get in touch to apply for the Menstrual Magic Business Mastermind, and let's do this together. Remember, it's at leticiaringe.com/MMB Mastermind, and get in quick because I'm so excited to get started with you right away. All right, my friends, have a beautiful week, and I will see you for another episode really soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast. If you feel called, I would love it if you could please take a minute to rate and review this podcast on iTunes. This helps other people like you find it, and I also invite you to take a moment to share this episode with a friend you know needs to hear it.